Welcome and thank you for choosing True Grit, the show about what it really takes to rise, rebuild, and stay the course when life hits hard. I'm Kalish, a coach, storyteller, and believer in the kind of strength you can't fake. Around here, we talk about real people, real stories, and the lessons that shape us, from resilience and mindset to health and healing, because grit isn't about grinding harder, it's about who you become when you don't quit. Let's get into it. Welcome back to True Grit, or welcome to True Grit, depending on if this is your first time hearing it or not. However, this is also one of the mini series that I'm calling Savor, a season of ease. It's my holiday series that is just these smaller episodes to support you through the holiday season. So when we get to January 1st, we're not now suddenly trying to get the momentum going. In fact, I want us to, even if we just coast through the season, at least we're moving already. And then we can see the 1st of January, that first week of January, as a time that we can just take off. We've already set our goals. We've already been working on them. And then we can just carry that forward. So let's do that. Today, I do want to talk about fitness. And before you shut this off and being like, I don't even want to think about that, I want you to stick around because I've actually got some pretty unexpected advice for you. You might be expecting me to sit here and tell you, oh, just be disciplined, stay consistent. We want to make sure that we don't lose all of our gains as we go through the season, and all these things that just add to the stress load. So what I'm going to tell you is stop worrying about it. And I'm telling you to stop worrying about it because as we get to that overwhelm, we're more likely just to shut down. And that is not what we want to do. That's not how we're going to enjoy this holiday season and not backslide. So what we're going to do is take a look at what our reality actually is for these next couple months, for the remainder of this year. Are you able to maintain the same workout schedule as before? If the answer is yes, then cool. You can just skip over this episode and you're all good. But for a lot of people, things start to come up. We might be dealing with some illnesses because that's the season that we're in. I've got another episode that will be talking about how to support yourself through that. But it will also be diligent about getting in some sort of movement, keeping your body moving. That is also going to serve you and avoid that situation. However, I also realize that we get very limited on time. Things get frantic, best laid plans, that whole thing. And so what we can do is start to plan around it. What is the reality? If you really be brutally honest about the situation. Don't be an idealist. Don't be like, well, if I can do all of these things, I can still make it to the gym and not skip a beat. But if that is causing you to stress out, if you really look at your track record and that is not necessarily the reality during the holiday season, then let's look at what actually is. Now, my approach to busy times like this is let's just try to get 20% of the way there, week by week. Even if it's only 20% of what you would normally be doing, then that is a win. We count that as a win. So if you're going to the gym 3 days a week, and I'm going to say 3 days a week, that's how often I go. That's how often I really like my clients to go as well. There's going to be some outliers where it's beneficial to be, 5 days a week, but that is also there's also some strategy around there. But for most people, we only need to go in 3 days a week to do full body workouts. So that might still be really doable if you're going by my methodology, which I urge you to do because, again, that's very sustainable for a good majority of us. So it might turn out to be you only can make it to one session. It might be that you can only make it once a week. If that's your reality, then plan for that. Know that that's your goal now, just to make it once a week for these next couple of months. Because even if doing that, you're still at least maintaining something and you're not backsliding. You're still going to feel good about yourself. You're still supporting yourself. So doing that, or it might look like just shorter sessions in the gym. You can't do the full hour, but just getting in there and getting some movement in. We may even have to dial it back some more. So you're just focusing on getting your steps in. If gym time is going to be very, very difficult, then let's look at just getting those steps in. I have a walking pad in my house. It was really inexpensive. If you don't have one, maybe that's something you put on your Christmas list. I know it'd be coming at the end of the season. However, I'm just throwing that out there, but it's something to take a look at. It is really, really helpful to have during these times when the weather isn't going to cooperate with us as well, when we want to get outside and getting moving. It may also be where you look at body weight only exercises. So doing so many squats, doing push-ups. If you have a pull-up bar inside the house, one that just fits right in the door frame, get a set of bands just so you can knock something out, like 15, 20 minutes a day. Just something that keeps you moving. But again, it is planning that out that's going to make this so much more rewarding and make you feel like you're actually reaching your goals rather than falling short of them. It's going to make such a difference in how you feel about yourself and your motivation as we go through the holidays. So really, that's it. You might have thought that I had way more to say on it, and I honestly thought I would too, but really that's just the short and sweet of it. We're in the last couple months of the year, just going ahead and we're not really necessarily making big goals of these huge improvements to our physiques in this time. So why put that stress on ourselves and expecting that we are going to reach this goal by January 1st? Like let's be realistic with the demands on our time. And it is just squeezing that in. I'm going to reiterate this because most people might be in denial of it, but I'm telling you, planning for the slowdown with your exercise regime is going to make the difference for you. And then again, when you reach January 1st, you're looking back at how you never really actually stopped. You may have slowed down a bit, but you never actually stopped. And therefore, you're not actually starting over. Now, all you have to do is just keep that momentum going and actually pick it back up again. So one last note on that is if you're finding that you end up needing to dial it back after all, perfectly fine. You can also know that all the extra, we'll just say nutrition, all the extra food that we're consuming still has a place to go that helps serve our bodies. Our muscles need extra calories to grow, to build. We do obviously want to help manage that weight gain during this time, but actually putting on muscle during this time is going to be the best thing. So again, dial it back if you need to. However, if you are able to get in 2, even 3 days a week of full body strength training, not killing yourself on the bike, not killing yourself on the Stairmaster, but actually focusing on strength training, that is going to help you manage unwanted weight gain because you are now feeding those muscles. They need that extra nutrition. And so this is why I say this is actually the best time to start working out because you're actually building your body. You're not in this restrictive mode that a lot of us go in once January hits and when we kind of carry it all through the summer. Well, you'd think that we carry it all through the summer. A lot of people will yo-yo or go back and forth, but we're out of that dieting right now. And we are just enjoying what's out in front of us and trying to do it more responsibly. And the best thing that you can do for yourself is to be focusing on putting on muscle right now. And again, you're going to be so much further along when January hits if you're not actually putting on extra body fat during this time. And then you can increase your resistance training once we hit the new year. Man, we'll just keep those calories going up until the point where we need to start modifying and pulling some levers so we can start to drop that body fat a bit more. But you will more than likely see some body composition changes where the scale might be saying the same, but your waistline is shrinking. The reason why the scale is saying the same is because you're putting on muscle. All that to say, make sure that you enjoy the holiday season. Do not let this be an extra stressor. Let it be something that still supports you, but that you plan around it. And that is what I have to say. That's my advice for navigating fitness around the holiday season. Thank you so much for being here on True Grit. I truly appreciate it. If this episode sparked something in you, share it, subscribe, or leave a quick review. It helps more people find these conversations. For more ways to connect, head to true-grit.fitness or come say hi on Instagram at true.grit_bold.wellness. I'll see you next time with more stories, lessons, and a little bit of grit.